Hello guys, what you are looking at right now is the beautiful loom on another new watch that I got. Yes, I and my indecisive self had to go get another new watch, and before I continue talking about this, I'm going to go ahead and turn some lights on. I just thought I'd show you that nice glow so we can get into this. And okay, so if you watched my other video about my watch, the new watch that I got last time, I got a Luminox Navy SEAL dive watch. And I can't really fault the watch. I can fault it a little bit, but I didn't send it back because of anything majorly wrong with the watch, other than the weight. It was a little light, felt a little light and a little plasticky to me, but that's just my personal preference, just a little light for me. Anyway, I sent it back because from where I bought it, they weren't exactly an authorized dealer, so that's called buying it on the gray market. And it's not illegal, it's just you won't get the manufacturer's warranty. And when I'm going to drop that kind of money on a watch, I would feel much better if I got the manufacturer's warranty. And as I was talking with my dad about it, he mentioned, as I was telling him that I got a new watch, and I got the SEALs watch, he said when he was in the SEAL team, again, he was in the Navy for 23 years, he was a Navy SEAL, and he said when they were in the SEAL team out on the ships, they used to sell the Seiko watches. Like in my last video, I mentioned that he himself used a Casio G-Shock, but he said one of the names that he mentioned to me was that everybody used was the Seiko watches. And I'd been looking at Seikos beforehand because I thought they were really, some of them had really nice designs, but I decided to go to the Luminox for the tritium vials, so I could see it all night. But after getting this, I can honestly say, great decision. This watch just feels so much better made. Well, heavier and stuff. Again, I can't really fault the Luminox that much. I sent it back for warranty reasons and gray market reason. But I can't really fault it that much. However, like I said, after seeing the loom on this Seiko, that loom that I showed you at the beginning of the video lasts the entire night. It isn't as bright as that the whole night, but it is about as bright as those tritium vials were the entire night. You do have to charge it up, but 30 seconds of putting it under my 4-cell LED mag light here, and I had all night illumination last night, which I thought was pretty nice. But anyway, this watch's MSRP is a little bit more expensive than the last one. The Luminox had an MSRP of 300 US, and the MSRP on this one is $475. That's not what I got it for. I got it for just around 200. But that's because I bought it online. If you buy it in a store, it'll cost about $475. So always look online. And here is, I have it on my wrist right now, as you saw earlier. But here's what you get in the box, and a little bit about the watch. This little outer sleeve here. A nice, beautiful watch box again. Really sturdy. It says Seiko. The box made in China. This is a Japanese movement, by the way, not a Swiss movement. I'll get to that more of that in a minute. It comes on this pillow. This is my old watch. I just put it on here as a placeholder, but it comes on this pillow. It says Seiko. Nice pillow. Price tag: SKX781, $475. The personalized receipt, and again, I bought this from an authorized dealer known as Discount Watch Store. So I have the full 3-year manufacturer's warranty. It says join the Seiko Elite Club, a little card about that. And instruction manual, very simple instruction manual about how to set your watch and things like that. And warranty information. Now, let's talk about the actual watch. I love the metal band watches, so that was another thing that kind of, because like I said, the other watch was too light, partially due to the fact that it was carbon fiber instead of stainless steel. It says Seiko right there on the band. Got a safety, so you pop that off, press the buttons, and the band comes off. The band didn't need any sizing for me. Well, it didn't need a link removed. It needed some micro adjustment. You see these holes here. It's all the way on the innermost hole. It started out on the 3rd hole, and I just had that little micro adjusted. The jeweler didn't even charge me for it, which I thought was nice. But here it is. This is the Seiko Orange Monster SKX781 diver's watch, and I love it. It is an automatic movement, meaning that there's no batteries. By the motion of your arm, it'll keep itself powered by a mainspring. It's water resistant to a diver's 200 meter. What's the difference between 200 meters and diver's 200 meters is the testing it has to go through. Diver's 200 meter watches like this one have to go through special shock resistance tests and special pressure tests and temperature change tests. There's a whole list. You can look it up on like Wikipedia or something like that. And in order to be a diver's 200, it needs to pass those. It has the unidirectional bezel. Again, very smooth, a lot smoother than the Luminox. So again, you can time things. Like if you're diving, you can time your air, the amount of air left, and how fast you can come up and things like that. Has a screw down crown, which the other one didn't have. You know, now that I'm going through this review, I noticed that this actually has a lot of features that the Luminox didn't have. Again, Luminox is not a bad watch, but I'm noticing that I just got a lot more value for only a little bit more. The other one cost me $180. This cost me $200, but the MSRP difference is $175. But anyway, screw down crown. So you unscrew it, you turn it counterclockwise, it'll pop out, and that's screw down, so it's even more water resistant. Screw in case back, again for water resistance. And like I said, one of the main things that I really liked about this watch was that lume. That's why I bought the Luminox in the first place, you know, so I could see it all night. And this lume has just been fantastic. That's why I started the video with that. It has what's known as the 7S26 movement, which is one of Seiko's lower end movements, and I've had it for 2 days now, and I don't do the thing where I say it's plus 10 seconds, minus 6 seconds. Some people get real crazy about that stuff. All I know is that I said it 2 days ago, and it's still within the same minute, it looks like, and that's definitely more than enough accuracy than I would need. There's another version of this watch called the Orange Monster, or I have the Orange Monster. They're called the Black Monster, and that just has a black dial. But see the hands? They have the black outline there. The Black Monster doesn't have that, so I thought the orange looked a little bit better. It has the day and the date here over on this watch. It's Saturday, and it is the 25th apparently. And that's real nice. I wanted to watch with the day and date. The Luminox only had the date, and I wanted day and date. I think that's helpful sometimes in case I forget what day of the week it is. And I'm really not worried about the water resistance of this watch at all. The Luminox, because it didn't have the screw-in crown, was kind of getting a little wary. I never had any problems with that. I mean, I took it in my hot tub. I took it down to the bottom of my 13-foot pool. That's what I lifeguard, a 13-foot pool. And I swam it down to the bottom, and it didn't leak. I mean, it's rated to 200 meters, and this is rated to diver's 200. So if I take either of these there and they leak there, we have a serious problem. But I don't really see myself going much deeper, free swimming, you know, without any tanks or anything like that. Deeper than 13 feet. Maybe I'll go down 20 feet if I go to a lake or something like that. But that's pretty much all I need. But it needs to be able to it needs to be able to get banged around. Like I said in my last video, I'm a lifeguard, so that's very important to me that I have a watch that's water resistant and can take the bangs. And that's what you're gonna get with something like a diver's watch like this. So in the end, it's just been great. I think this is a really beautiful watch. I love the look of this. This watch here has the sweeping second hand because it is an automatic, meaning it doesn't tick each second. It's just continuously sweeping, which I really like. I really like that sweeping second hand. And so overall, just a great watch. I definitely think I'm going to keep this one, unlike I didn't feel too sure about the Luminox, but this is just a beautiful watch, and I can see me wearing this watch for years to come. And like I say, I wear them 24/7, so I don't think I'm ever going to have to worry about it running out of juice, as long as you keep moving. And as I wear it 24/7, I don't see any problems with that. So if anybody's looking for a higher end watch, and by higher end I mean not the Timexes and the Casios that I'm used to, definitely take a look at the Seiko Orange Monster here. I've had it 2 days, and it's just been absolutely beautiful. Real nice weight to it and everything. So yeah, definitely check out the Seiko Orange Monster. Thanks for watching this, and thanks for dealing with my indecisive self and getting these new watches. You guys have yourself a great day.